Hello students, this is Neha Mathur and today I am going to discuss the next theorem from networks theory, which is superposition theorem. See, superposition theorem is one of the most efficient theorem if you have multiple independent energy sources in your circuit. So we will discuss superposition theorem, but before starting the topic, consider to subscribe my channel and click on bell icon to get updated for the upcoming videos. Fine. So our today's topic is superposition theorem. As I told you that this theorem is most preferably used only if you have multiple independent sources in your circuit. Just like if you have one or more voltage or current source in your circuit and you want to calculate the response across any of the branch in terms of voltage or current, in that case you must definitely prefer superposition theorem. According to superposition theorem, if you have multiple independent sources in terms of voltage source and current source in your circuit, in that case that particular complex circuit can be replaced or can be converted into equivalent circuit by eliminating all the individual energy sources just by maintaining a single source at a time. So if you have multiple sources, you will have to consider one energy source at a time and you can eliminate remaining energy sources at that particular time. Similarly, you can follow all the steps for all the individual independent sources and you can find your response across any of the branch. So this theorem again takes several steps if you want to solve the question with the help of superposition theorem. You have approx 3 steps. By following that you can find your answer. So as per first step, if you have a given circuit, if you have a circuit in which you have two or more independent energy sources, that in that case in first step you will have to consider only one independent energy source at that time and you can eliminate remaining energy sources. How you are going to eliminate the source? See, if you have voltage source and you want to eliminate that voltage source, then you will have to make it short circuit, while in case of current source you can make it open circuit in the case of elimination. So that step you will have to follow number of times as per you have number of multiple sources. See, if you have n number of independent multiple sources, in that case you will have to repeat that step 1 n times, just by considering one independent source at a time and by eliminating remaining independent source in that particular time. This is all about the number of steps you will have to consider, and the number of steps basically depends on the number of independent source present in the circuit. Fine. And the last step you will have to follow in the calculation of current or voltage across any branch by using superposition theorem. You will have to add all the responses you are getting from previous steps. So in the last step you will have to just add all the values you are getting from previous term. This is all about the steps related to superposition theorem. Now I will take one example and then we'll apply all the steps on that particular example so that we can solve that question with the help of superposition theorem. So now I am taking one example. In this example you have two independent energy sources. See, this is your circuit. You can directly observe by seeing that circuit that here you have two independent energy sources. The first one is that voltage source having 20 volt and this current source which is having a value of 4 ampere. So you have two independent source. Now the question is, examiner wants to know that you will have to find current across any of the branch. Here I am taking it as a 20 to just make it separate from all the other. So examiner want to ask any of the response across any of the branch, like examiner may ask that what will be the current or voltage across this 10, this 5, this 10 or this 20 ohm resistance. In that case, if you have multiple energy sources and you want to find the response across single branch, that you must prefer superposition theorem. Now here you have two independent sources, one voltage source and one current source, and examiner want to know what will be the current across this 20 ohm resistance. So now I will follow all the relevant steps which is required to solve that question with the help of superposition theorem. Now the step first. See, as I told you that here we have two independent sources, this one and this one. So in the first step you will have to consider one independent source and eliminate second independent source. Here I am in first step, I am considering this 20 volt voltage source and eliminating this 4 ampere current source. Fine. This is the process which I am going to follow in the step 1. So now what about the modified circuit after the elimination of this 4 ampere current source? See, to eliminate this 4 ampere current source, I will have to make it open circuit. So the modified circuit will look like, the battery will remain because I am considering this 5 ohm resistor is also a part of the circuit. This is again same, this is also same. Since I am making it open circuit, so no need to draw it over here. So this is the final modified circuit you are getting after your first step. Now you will have to find the current across this 20 ohm resistor in the presence of this 20 volt resistor. Now here you have again two options. If you want, you can apply nodal analysis over here, or if you want, you can apply mesh analysis over here. All the relevant topics, nodal analysis and mesh analysis, already covered in my last videos. You can follow that videos so that you will be able to learn how to follow that particular circuits with the help of nodal or mesh analysis. So now here I am just applying nodal analysis so that I can find the current across 20 ohm resistor. See, fine. So here, after just by observing this modified circuit, I can notice that here I have only one node. Node is a point where two or more branches occurs. So this is a particular node and I am considering V1 is voltage across that particular node. Now as per the concept of nodal analysis, you will have to write equation for this particular circuit. So now I am writing the equation, nodal equation, and as per the concept of KCL, the current across any node is the sum of the current coming or leaving at any node is always equals to 0. So I am considering that current is coming over here. I am just considering the current is leaving from here. It is totally up to you. If you want, you can make it that current is coming or current is leaving. That is totally in your decisions. So as per my decisions, I am taking that current is leaving from this node, similarly from this node and similarly from this node. So as per the concept of KCL, I am writing a nodal equation at that node, and according to that, the total current at that node is equals to 0. Fine. So I will have to write the current coming or leaving at that point. For this branch, the current is leaving and the current will be voltage upon resistance. Resistance is 5. Why voltage is this voltage V1 difference, voltage difference, this minus this. So this is the current leaving from this branch. Similarly, for this branch, the potential difference is V1 minus 0. This is the reference node, ground. So it will be V1 minus 0 divided by resistance, which is your 10. Similarly, for this third branch, again the current is leaving. This is the first node and that is your next node, which is a ground. So it will again 0. So the voltage difference is V1 minus 0 divided by resistance. That is 10 plus 20 because both are in series. So now you will have a single nodal equation. Here you have only one node, so you will have only one equation. Now the variable is V1 and you will have to calculate the value of V1 just by applying normal mathematics rule. So I am just erasing the circuit because I will have to calculate the value of V1. So see, I can take 30 as an LCM. Your V1 is equals to 120 divided by 10, so it will be 12 volt. You have a value of V1, that is a voltage across node V1. Now the task is not the calculation of the V1, the task is identify the current flowing across 20 ohm resistance. So the current will be voltage at that point divided by resistance, and the resistance is 10 plus 20 because 10 and 20 is in series, so the current will be same. So, or if you want, you can write V1 minus 0, because in the previous circuit, if it was not a part of the circuit, you can see that this is the node having voltage V1, while this is the second point having voltage 0. So the voltage difference will be V1 minus 0 divided by 10 plus 20, 30. V1 is 112 and this is 30. So it will be 1.4, I think. No, it will be 0.4 ampere. So this is the current flowing across 20 ohm resistor because of this 20 volt resistor. This 20 volt voltage source. Now I am taking the actual circuit. See, this is the current you are getting after your first step, that was just considering one voltage source in the circuit while eliminating the second current source from the circuit. Now the same step you will have to follow by considering the second current source in your circuit and by eliminating this voltage source from your circuit. So the second step is, before starting the second step, I am writing this value I1 which I am getting from the first step, which is 0.4 ampere. Fine. Now I am repeating the same step for the second circuit, for the second current source, so for the second independent voltage source. This is the second step in which I am considering 4 ampere current source in the circuit while eliminating the voltage source, and it can be easily eliminated by making it short circuit. Fine. So the modified circuit will be, just make it short circuit, and the modified circuit will look like, you will have to consider that 4 ampere, this is your 5 ohm, 10 ohm, 10 ohm, 20 ohm. So this is your modified circuit, but again the task is that you will have to again find the current across this 20 ohm resistance, but because of this 4 ampere current source. So just find the current. See, now again you have several methods to calculate the current to solve that circuit. You can apply KVL or KCL, mesh analysis or node analysis to solve the circuit, but I am just making it more easier just by just considering 2 points. The first point here A and the second point here is B. So now what I am observing, that these 2 points are taking, I am over here, and the left part of that these 2 points is just a combination of number of resistance. So if it is possible to solve these resistance and make an equivalent resistance combination, that it will be easier to solve that circuit. So now what I am doing, I just can observe that here this 5 and this 10 ohm resistance is in parallel, and the combination I am getting after their parallel connection is in series with this 10 ohm resistance. So if you want to solve the left part of these 2 points over here, what will be the solution? just calculate the combination of the resistance, that is RAB, which is the equivalent resistance left of that these 2 points. So this 5 and this 10 is in parallel combination. So the equivalent will be 5 into 10 divided by 5 plus 10. Now the combination is in series with this 10, so it will be just added over here. So you can solve this, and after the solving you will get 10 upon 3 plus 10, that will be 40 upon 3 ohm. Fine. So this is like, now your circuit, more simplified circuit will look like this, 40 upon 3 ohm. Fine. This is just the simple calculation. Now again, as per the concept of current division rule, you will have to apply current division rule over here, because the current coming over here is divided into 2 branches. The first branch is this and the second branch is this. But our task is to calculate the current across this resistance only. So we will no need to calculate the current across this resistance, because our task is the calculation across this. So now I am applying the current division rule, and as per the concept of current division rule, why I am applying current division? Because current is going to be divided into 2 branch, because these 2 resistors are in parallel. So as per the concept of current division rule, if you have a source of current, any current source, and you want to divide that current across any branch, then if you want to divide that current across any branch, then the current will be, current is equals to total current, that means current source, multiplied by opposite resistance divided by the total resistance considered in the circuit. Now according to the circuit, according to the R circuit, you have IS, current source of 4 ampere. R1 is just a opposite branch across which, opposite of a branch across which you want to find your current. So you want to calculate current across 20 ohm. So the opposite resistance will be 40 by 3, and your R2 will be your own branch, so it will be 20 ohm. So just applying this formula and you can find the current across 20 ohm resistor. I am mentioning here I2 because I am getting this current because of second independent source. Now I1 I already calculated with the help of this, so I am just mentioning over here I2. So it will be 4 multiplied by 40 upon 3 divided by 40 upon 3 plus 20. 40 upon 100 from here, and it will be 160 upon 100, that means 1.6 ampere. So this is the current you are getting because of this 4 ampere current source in the circuit. Now you have both the values, both the currents because of both the circuits. Suppose you have 3 independent sources in the circuit. In that case, what you will have to do? You will have to repeat that step. Again this step, it will be step 3rd, and in that case you will have to consider your 3rd independent source, and you will have to eliminate remaining 2 independent source. So it is just a simple method. If you have 4 independent sources, you will have to repeat a single step 4 times. In the first step, consider 1 independent source and eliminate remaining 3 source, while in the second step consider second energy source and eliminate remaining 3. So you will have to make dominant one by one all your independent energy sources at a time, and you will have to eliminate remaining independent sources, so that you can calculate the response across any of the branch, and that response may be in the form of current or in the form of voltage. Here in this question you want to find your response in the form of current. That's why I am calculating the currents across this 20 ohm resistance. Fine. So now your second step is also completed. Only 2 steps you will have to use over here because you have only 2 independent sources. Now the 3rd step, and in the 3rd step, as I told you, that last step is just the most important step in which you will have to add all the responses you are getting from the previous responses. Like from step 1 you are getting that the current is 0.4 ampere, while from the second step you found that your current is 1.6 ampere. So across this 20 ohm resistance, the current because of this 20 volt is 0.4 ampere, while because of this 4 ampere it is 1.6 ampere. So your total current across 20 ohm resistance will be I1 plus I2, that is 0.4 plus 1.6, it will be 2 ampere. So 2 ampere is the total current which is flowing across 20 ohm resistor. This is all about superposition theorem. Now superposition theorem, you can use that theorem if you want to get your response in terms of voltage also. But the important thing is that you cannot directly calculate power across any branch with the help of superposition theorem. If you want to calculate power across any branch, in that case you will have to individually calculate voltage and current, and then after their multiplication you can find your power. But for the calculation of power you can not directly apply a superposition theorem across any circuit. So this is all about the superposition theorem. I hope you are getting. If you are following the concept, consider to subscribe my channel and click on bell icon. And if you want to, if you are preferring some textbook or some reference book to getting some more interesting examples, I will suggest you that go with more and more examples. And if you are facing any doubt, any confusion, you can text me in comment box. You can mention your doubts in the comment box. I will try my best to solve your issues. So if you are following, consider to subscribe my channel and click on bell icon to get updated videos. Thank you so much.